Real quick, I want to do a fair use, fair use, fair use. Yeah, this is Forbes. It says investors seek stock market crash protection as recession fears rise. So with all that, I'm going to give all praises and all honor and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and do well. To the elder apostles, bishops in Connecticut, the bishops, the preachers, the teachers, the evangelists, and the four winds preaching in truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect, the elect, Shalom. To the Israelite foreigners, whose phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through your father and have come back to the fold, Shalom. To you sisters, your Chwathim, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence. This your brother Aram Yehawada with the lesson. Yeah, with the stock market prices taking deep dives in recent days, investors are scrambling for protection by making bids on a big decline in the S&P 500, according to Market Watch. What has investors so worried? Several forces are fueling their concerns. Uncertainty, which of course this is Babylon the Great. This is what's going on. It's the place of confusion, the city of confusion, right? It's Babylon the Great, right? So when you deal with uncertainty, what it brings, what confusion, right? About geopolitics, because that's kind of what Trump has been doing. He's been all over the place. No one knows what he's doing, so it makes people afraid to invest because he's all over the place, right? You know you're not going to win every time in the stock market, but you want it to be at least somewhat what do you call it? Steady, familiar, or what's another way to say it? I guess the best way to say it's not so volatile, right? You want to be able where you could play the game and you could play to win, but you can't win when everything is scattered. It's going this way, it's going that way. Today it's up, tomorrow it's down. The other day it was flat. It just stayed. It didn't go up, it didn't go down. It was like a flat line. Then the next day it goes up. In the morning, by the afternoon, and the same day it's down. That's confusion. The next day, it's down all morning, but somehow late in the eve, all of a sudden it goes up. Bro, it's too unstable, right? Then you deal with the politics. Oh, I want peace. Then you're sending them long-range missiles to Ukraine, but we want peace. Let's get on the phone and talk about peace. Let's have a meeting about peace. All right? And then, hey, and Putin ain't worried. He got the dead man switch, which that is freaking awesome, bro. You know what I'm saying? Touch me and we all die. You know what I'm saying? So this is very unstable because they want to be able to get him, but yeah, the politics is totally unstable, and because of that, what prices increasingly strain customers as tariffs, right? And he keeps almost 200. Who does that shit, bro? This dude is a madman. I'm a tariff from 200% tariffs, right? And these are times where people are This dollarization is happening. When people are saying that they're just doing away with the dollar, but you put tariffs on it. So then that even furthermore makes a real and valuable reason why another country wouldn't want to use a U.S. dollar, because you have to exchange U.S. dollars in order to get oil, but you would have to spend 20 to maybe 30 times more U.S. money to get that oil now than you would have to do with your own currency. So why won't I just cut you out and spend a reasonable amount with my own currency, which makes more sense, saves less money, less time, everything's more convenient within my own currency, right? But then again, this is the overall trick, because all these nations are putting tariffs on their dollars and their de-dollarization, their own countries. I mean, the main country they're speaking about is America, but China's dollar is in the dump, but it's because they're doing it on purpose. Russia's dollar is in the dump, but they're all doing it on purpose so they can bring in the digital currency, which they're all planning to do. That's why it's called a new world order, because the world has to be involved. But they have to make it seem like everybody's beefing and all these other things. What you don't understand is you're thinking you putting a strike. Oh my God, I don't know what to do. Man, there's nothing you could do but pray. You know what I'm saying? Lean in on your Yahweh Bashem Shai. I mean, but that's if you, hey, bro, because many are called, few are chosen. And then even, hey, some people ain't even called. So, wow. I mean, imagine that, right? So they get the strained customers as tariffs rise costs for U.S. businesses, which will raise prices to preserve profit margins. Yeah, they gotta so-called make them, but they got enough money, bro. If you really listen, bro, and this goes for everybody, all you so-called red-blooded Americans that love America. Well, you see the farmers are hurting, so you regular Joe Schmo Edomites, all you should grab and jump on your pickup truck and go out there and help them to make sure that the food gets to the marketplace, right? That would help. Then all these companies, if they love America, you're already billionaires, bro. You have so much money, you're never going to go broke. You could stand to lose a little bit of money, right? You could even do the overhead where, fuck it, I'll make it where at least I have enough money that I can pay for the lights and pay for my workers, and I can cut the prices so people can afford it. But as long as I can keep my business running, you're good. You ain't hurting for nothing, right? Don't you love America? But see, these people, it's all BS, man, right? You know what I'm saying? But profit margins, and risk and a rising risk of recession as customers spend less. See, and that's what's, because prices are going up, so your money's not going as far. You have the uncertainty, so then you're not spending what you used to spend, right? Yeah. Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 3. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and we're in the time that the keepers of the house are trembling. Why? Because the sons of the power are out there on the highways and the byways and the four winds of the earth, preaching in truth and sincerity, right? The 100% doctrine is upon the earth, and it activated the chariots, what they call UFOs, UAPs, which are the angels. And we're coming closer to the time of the second coming of our Lord. Yahweh Shai means he delivers, right? It says, or he saves, right? And the strong men shall bow themselves, right? And the grinders cease, right? The Yeah, you're not getting a lot of men going into the military, right? You The job market is slowing down, right? Not to mention, like they said, that we just read about the tariffs and the inflations and the things that's actually happening. The dollarization, which the buying power of the dollar is getting less and less and less. So that's making those uncertainties, and then you got the job loss, right? And you know, because they are few, right? So yeah, there's few jobs, especially since they're bringing in this AI. So that's bringing panic, right? You're not sure you want to just start buying up things when you're going to have AI, and what would you be able to afford? What would you be able to do? You know, so there's a lot of uncertainty, right? And those that look out of the windows be darkened. So yeah, your future is looking bleak. It's looking not looking too great. So your future's looking dark when you look towards the future, right? Especially these new college graduates and these high school graduates. They spent all this time to finally graduate, and their time to come into the marketplace, and there is no marketplace. There is no work. There's no workforce, right? There's no place for them to go and work. So they did all these things, and they put these commercials on TV. Hey, come join this school to be a nurse or AC tech or whatever thing, and they show these different things, and even school, your teachers are saying be blah 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 blah, and then here it is. Even these students, some of them, they're inspired to be teachers, right? Well, AI is taking over the teacher's job, right? So you ain't gonna have any teachers either. So hey, bro, hey, your future is darkened, and it says, and the doors shall be shut in the street. Yeah, the this is what they were talking. The stock market, right? Right? They call it Wall Street, right? Wall Street, hey, it's going to be shut down, right? The stock market's going to crash, and ain't going to be no more jobs. Hey, everything, you go up and down any street, you can find no job, right? They're going to give it all to AI, right? It says when the sound of the grinding is low, right? So your job, grinding, dealing with a job, when the sound of grinding is low, and this is what's happening. People are panicking. They're panicking. Jobs are low, right? And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, right? So the birds get up and chirp, or you have the rooster, that cock-a-doodle do, right, in the morning, right? Make that noise early in the morning, and normally, you know what I'm saying? Oh man, you jump up. I'm gonna get up and go to work. Put on my boots and this, that. Get up and go to work. No, that's not gonna happen. You're gonna hear the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low, right? Right, all the things, you get up in the morning, you put on your music, you get ready to go to work, right? You go do things to make you feel good. It's gonna be brought low. So also, when they shall be afraid of which is high, right? Prices are high. They're going to be afraid of that which is high, which is prices, high prices, high tariffs, and fear shall be in the way, and the almond tree shall flourish, and the grasshoppers shall be abundant, right? And see, and a lot of people, that you don't have enough sense to know that you could eat grasshoppers, right? That's actually a lawful food. You'll eat bloody steaks, you'll eat pig and bacon, some unlawful shit to do, but you don't know that you can eat grasshoppers, shall be abundant, and and desire shall fail, because man goeth to his long home, and the mourners go about the streets. So this goes, or ever the silver cord be loose, and the golden bowl be broken, right? And that's displacement. The buying power of the dollar is loose. It's not what it used to be. Basically, America has been the golden cup, right, in the Lord's, and now it's broken, right? You know, or the pitcher is broken at the fountain, at the fountain, and the water and the wheel broken at the cistern, right? So the system is no longer working, right? And it's going to bring in what? Famine, right? Right? The money's not going as far. Basically, you're having famine, lack of food, lack of water, drought. Everything's about to take place here in America. Then shall the dust return to the earth, and a lot of people are going to drop dead because of famine. A lot of people are going to drop dead because of what? The lack of bread. People are going to fight over that, right? And you're going to return the dust, right? Which are your body. Your body's made out of dust. People are going to be killed as it was, and the spirit shall return unto the power which gave it, right? Which means talking about your spirits and your body, and your spirit will return back to the Father, which a lot of people are going to die of starvation, right? Yeah, Lamentation chapter 4, verse 9. They that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger. For these pine away, stricken through for the want of the fruit of the field. See, the almond tree, right? It's out in the field, right? Well, a lot of people don't have enough sense to know that the grasshopper you can eat. That's in the field, right? you can eat the things of the field, but you know, but some people are so used to just, you know, the average everyday so-called American diet, which is not great for you anyway. But things are going to get drastic, right? Right, which it'll show you right here in 10. It says, then the hands of the pitiful woman, right? And that's a lot of you silly women. A lot of you're leaving homes, good homes. I have a great husband and he was this great guy, but you know what? It wasn't enough. I wanted more. But you're in the time where America is on its decline. It's on its it's you're looking out the window if you have enough sense. But a lot of these women don't have enough sense to look at what's going on and see the future, and see that the future is dark in the window. Look out the window. Your future, it ain't a bright future for America. But women are too stupid to realize that. But this is what they're going to end up being. They're going to end up having to do because they didn't pay attention, right? It's the pitiful woman have soldered, right? What does that mean? Let's look at the definition of that, soldered. Yeah. So in the same verse right here, I'm in the blue letter, Lamentations 4 and 10. Right here it tells you to transliterate, right, from the Hebrew to what is called English, have soldered. Okay, let's hit that one.
Strong's H 1310. Bashal. And the form just below that?
Bashal. Bashal. And they say Bashal or Bashel, right? It's from the Hebrew. To boil, cook, bake, roast. Reaping, grow, ripe, to boil, to cook, right? Soldering, yeah, see, to boil and cook. See, and we're coming in a time that people, it's these women, these silly women, they're gonna have to, they got to boil, they're gonna have to cook their children, right? Because that's how starving people are gonna be. It says the hands of the pitiful woman have soldered their children, right? So we looked at the word solder. Solder means to boil and to cook, and that's what the Lord said. People are gonna be cooking and eating their children. That's how starving they're gonna be. This is the time that we're living in, right? And this is thus saith the Lord. So this is going to happen, right? They were in their meat in destruction. So your children are going to be your meat in your destruction, in the destruction of the daughters of my people, right? So you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, you are the Lord's people, and you're going to be eating your children. Thus saith the Lord, right? Because you play a silly game. You trust in America, you trust in this world, you don't trust in the Lord, and you don't trust in your man. So, and therefore, the Most High is going to punish you, right? Yeah, so this is 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 57. It says, thy children shall be slain of hunger, right? So your children's going to die of hunger, right? Starvation. The Lord said it'd be better to die by the sword than hunger, right? Right? He said it'd be. So, some people are going to look at it that way, right? They're going to consider that. And thou shall fall through the sword. Yeah, and thou shall fall through the sword. Yeah, a lot of people are going to die in that day. Thy city shall be broken down, and all thine shall perish with the sword in the field, in the world. This is going to happen, right? They that be in the mountains shall die of hunger, right? So this is the time that we're coming in, right? And eat their own flesh and drink their own blood, right? So they're going to be killing each other to eat. Cannibalism is going to be a real thing. So people got a real reason to be concerned about what's about to take place, because this is thus saith the Lord, thus saith the Holy Bible, right? For very hunger of bread and of thirst, right? Yeah, so this is Isaiah chapter 47 and 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon, which is talking about America, right? That's why we said this is Babylon. This is Babylon, but not ancient Babylon. This is the daughter of Babylon, which is spiritually Babylon, which is America, which is spiritually also known as Nineveh, Assyria, the merchant city, Sodom, Gomorrah. This is that place that ought to be destroyed, which is the daughter of Babylon, which is America. Set on the ground, there is no throne. See, and this place is getting ready to be dethroned, right? See, because they think it's going to be a great idea to bring in the digital dollar, crash the dollar, bring in the digital dollar, get everybody micro C-hip, put these people in the 15-minute cities and do this and do that. And it may seem to work or be beneficial at the beginning, right? Because it speaks of that in Job, right? And they're going to be very satisfied with themselves, right? Like you've seen the Elon Musk jump on stage, start doing the what you think is a thing that goes back to Hitler, but really it goes back to Rome, showing you that they're going back into the Roman draconial laws, right? And they plan on ruling over everything through Palantir, through Hapsir, right? Their Hapsir, which is their gospel, which is a weaponized, what do you call, surveillance system that governs you through technology, right? It says, O daughter of the Chaldeans, and this is all what Chaldeans deal with witchcraft, and this is part of their witchcraft. For thou shalt no more be called tender, or delicate. See, the Lord is actually going to bring this place down. See, but it thinks it could do these things, bring down the marketplace, put in the AI, do all these different things, and set up this whole dystopia, right, for the elite. Because the elite, they hate poor people. They hate that they have to pay your salaries. They hate that they have to pay for your medical bills. They hate it. So they're trying to X you out, bring in the machines, right? So take the millstone and grind the mill, right? It's gonna be low in food, right? Because a millstone is like for grinding like corn, and then when you grind corn, things like that, you could do so many different things with it, right? You can make bread, you know. You can make you know, cereal. I mean, you can make was it cream of corn or whatever. You can make meals that basically corn is for a meal, but also a millstone is known for working, right? Jobs. That's why it says take the millstone and grind it. Grinds for another meaning for work. Even back in the day, they used to say, man, even the hustlers, I'm out here grinding, right? That's talking about work. Work synonymous. Grind is work synonymous for work. So the job place, the grinding, and I believe it's in Revelation that talks about getting your daily bread. So there's come a time where the grinding is going to be where you can only get your daily bread, your daily meal. You're going to work, and whatever a day's wage is going to buy your meal, one meal. Uncover the locks, right? See, which is going to show you these draconian laws, draconian measures, showing you that the government don't love you. It's going to uncover all these things. Uncover the locks, make bare the leg, and uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers, right? So they're not going to be able to hide their intent to enslave the entire world, right? Rivers are known as flows, right? Because you go into the river, a river flows. So you're gonna see where the money flows, right? And when rivers flow, it also has what? Banks. So the money's gonna flow to these river banks, which are going to the elites. So you're gonna realize the elites are making all the money. Like they tell you in any situation, follow the money, right? It says thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen, and I will take vengeance, right? Because the second coming of the Lord, it ain't going to be Mr. Nice Guy. I will take vengeance and will not meet thee as a man. See, and that's what the Lord is going to do. It's allow this stuff to be revealed, but the second coming is coming. And when his vengeance come, he's not coming to meet you as a man. He's coming to meet you as an angelic power, man. Right? Yeah. So this is, just continue to go. It says, as for our Redeemer, Yahweh, right? All caps, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakwadash, of hosts meaning armies, is his name, right? And a name goes with, a person's character, right? Their ability to keep their word, right? And that's what the Lord is about to perform, the Holy One of Israel, right? Says, sit thus silent, and get thee into darkness. See, your future is not looking bright. When you look out the windows, trying to look towards, is there any hope in America? Is there any hope for the future? No, your future is darkness. O daughter of the Chaldeans, all this different witchcraft, all these different things are going to start to get pulled down. But you have to go through the process, though. Pulling you down ain't just pulling you down overnight, right? It's you're bringing in the gradualism of the MOTB, But as you're gradually bringing in the MOTB, the Lord is gradually pulling this place down. So that, as you can see, it's darkness. There's not going to be any future, right? O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdom. See, Lady Liberty, the greatest city in the world. When you know what I'm saying, you go, everybody is supposed to see Lady Liberty and go, oh my God, this is the greatest place on the earth. America, America. And that, at one point in time, it was that. But as you can see, people are not as that enthused about America at all. It's shaking the core of the stock market, and people willing to place their bid into the stock market, right? Or even trusting in the dollar. People are losing a lot of trust in this place. Yeah, so this is the Guardian, right? Trump tariffs. Trump imposes a 50% tariff on India, right, as punishment for buying Russian oil. Well, you're not going to give them any oil or anything cheaper. It's like the same thing what Europe is going through. As an alternative, you're selling Europe alternative gases, but you're not selling it to them cheaper than what Russia can give it to them. Then it would be a totally different ball game if you did it that way, but they're not doing it that way, right? U.S. president, right, which we know what it is, Trump, has argued New Delhi indirectly helps fund Ukraine war, as experts say move in own goal against allies. See, and so India is supposed to be an ally to America, and which you would need these guys to be an ally to you, because they've been beefing with China, right? But as of recent, yeah. So this is U.S. on the Guardian once again. It says Trump tariffs are reshaping old allies. See, and these are places that were allies, right? India is an ally to America, but it's going to shape these allies up as global South plots its own path. So they're like, I know we were allies at one point in time, but what you doing ain't sufficient to my bottom line. So the bottom line is, hey, I might have to get out of here. Countries from Brazil to India hit by 50% tariffs from Wednesday are exploring collective resistance as Trump uses trade to assert policy and economic power. Yeah, so this is the Times of India. So, hey, right? Trump's tariffs, India pivots towards China and Russia, which are supposed to be your enemies, right? These are your adversaries. Your ally is pivoting towards your adversary, right? Should U.S., right, which is the United States of America, right, be worried? Yeah, and yes, you should be worried. You should be very worried. You see what's behind them? These are these cargo, the trading. Because if anything ever happened, supposedly, with trading with China, you could push off China and trade with India. They have plenty of poor people that they can make sweatshops and still sell America all the cheap stuff, technically. But that ain't what they want to do anyway, as far as that, at least right now. They want the stock market, everything to be messed up. And, you know, it'll cause us all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive that mark, karagma, karax, grapho, right? In their right hand, on their forehead, their left hand, their right leg, their whatever it may be at, wherever it may go, right? No matter where you put it, it is the mark of the beast, right? And there's no getting around the judgment that's going to come with you receiving that, right? So yeah, they should be worried. Yeah, so this is Obadiah chapter 1 verse 7, and it says, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border, right? So the confederate mean where? Would mean with their allies. So all the men or all the countries that are ally against you, they're starting to pivot towards your adversaries. So yeah, you should definitely be worried, right? Because you can't beat Russia because Putin has the dead man switch. So if at any particular time anything happens to Putin, right? If he slip and take a fall, you are going to instantly go into to nuclear war. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you better be worried, right? Because these are all the people that's supposed to be your allies. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border, and the men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee. See, and ultimately, especially like Ukraine, you gave a lot of money to Ukraine. You did all these different things for Ukraine, and that laid a wound under you when you had to send a lot of your defense weapons to Ukraine, and now your defense weapons are I can say you don't have any, but it's drastically lower than it was before all this, right? Now you're at a disadvantage at this point, right? Not to mention your allies are gonna shoot missiles on you, right? And it says, yeah, they were at peace with you, at peace with thee, have deceived thee, and prevailed against thee. They that ate thy bread, right? They used your money. They traded with you. They did all these different things. Have laid a wound under thee, right? And that's what's happening to America. The wound is far gone, right? There is no understanding in him. So this is what Trump is he's trying to figure out how he could just try to demand everything and try to force things to become back so America could become that financial power again. And so he figured if he can go around, because he got a little bit of power, so what he's doing is using the power that he has within his limits. But there's limits to that, because guess what? They can pivot and move towards their enemies, move towards the people who you don't want to be allies with them, especially since these people are your adversaries. These are your allies. But if your allies link up with your adversaries, we're your allies. Now you don't have any allies, right? Yes, this is Jeremiah 51:8. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her take balm for her pain, if so be she may be healed, right? So this is basically what Trump is trying to do. He knows that this is in basically a fallen state. So what he's trying to do is make moves across the board, across the global. He just spoke to Putin and Russia. He wants to speak to Kim Jong-un. He spoke to the president of South Korea. Now he wants to speak to Kim Jong-un, which is North Korea. He's really trying to make things move as smooth as comfortable so that he can move everything over to the digital dollar. Not that he's trying to heal Babylon to make it the way it used to be. It's so that the transaction of going into these draconian laws and the switch over to the digital will go smooth. And in every country, the things link, because it's going to be global. It's going to be one world order, one world government, one world everything, one universal basic income. Everybody's going to have the same income. Seeing all these elites, even Putin, they all know that this is how it's supposed to go. right? But there's something that's going to happen that's going to shift these the allies, right? And obviously you can see that already happening now through the tariffs, through the different things. It's shifting the allies to move towards, hey, let's deal with Russia, let's deal with China then, right? So it's gonna lay a wound under them, right? And ain't no understanding in this guy because you can't beat the Most High, right? So that's it's going to show you that, right? Right? She said we would have healed Babylon, which is the daughter of Babylon, which is America. We already explained that, but she is not healed. See, so no matter what you do, this place is not going to be healed, and everybody else can see the forest for the trees, so to speak. But Trump, he can't see that. He can't see it. He will not see it. Even the elites. He's probably no. Look, we can do it. We can save it. Just let me do it. And they're like, okay, well, we'll give you free reign. We'll let you do a couple of things. See if you could do a thing. If not, we're gonna pull the plug on this place. Which that's what they already talked about doing anyway, right? Abraham Finkelstein. If you have that video or if you've seen it, when he talked about the human uh, remains in the fast food industry, I'll say it that way. Then you know everything else he spilled beyond that, saying that they were pretty much the elites are done with America. But Trump is with these guys like, no, you can't be. It's the greatest place on the earth. It's one of the greatest places ever, right? In the glory days, it was a very, very good place to come and do folly and make money and do that and shit on the Israelites and make your money and get out of here, right? Which that's what everybody's gonna do. Everybody's gonna get the freak up from out of here because it's not a great place to make money anymore. And it's not a great place to shit on the Israelites. But why? Because we have risen up and we know who we are. And it's like, oh, they know who they are. But not only that, the word has gone into the ends of the world. They went out through the unicorn, and you have Jake everywhere around the world through the four corners of the earth speaking the same thing, right? So this thing is putting a what do they call it? It's jamming up their program, so to speak. That's what it is. That's what's happening. And then now they're shitting the chariots everywhere. So you know that the second coming of our Lord is about to be here, and he's not going to meet him as a man. And they all know this, right? Forsake her. Now it's time. Look, they already doing that. They're forsaking it. They see in the forest for the trees. Hey, forsake her. And let us go, everyone, to his own country. And say, India's like, we already in our own country, but we need to buy certain oils and this and that from other places, and we would trade with you, but hey, you ain't doing too hot. So let me link up with China and Russia, because they look like they're doing great. Even with all the tariffs and all the things you done did and the war in Ukraine, somehow Russia is shining like a star. They doing good. Let me go mess with these guys, right? But because for you, there is no understanding in you. Yeah, forsake her. Let us everyone go to his own country, for her judgment reach unto heaven. Right? See, and that's what's about to happen to this place. Everybody can see it. Everyone can see that America's about to get judged. Right? And reach unto heaven, and is left up to even, and then lifted up even to the sky. Because even Putin came out with a thing saying, hey, if you're putting your military in the streets against your citizens, shows that you're a weak leader. And that's absolutely true. He's a weak leader, man. You don't have true control. Everybody can see the forest for the trees. But this guy, he's so full of himself. He got all them yes men in there, and they think they're doing. They think they do. Well, like I said, they think they're doing a good deed, right? Yeah. So this is Isaiah chapter 13, verse 13. It says, "Therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall move at her coming." See, since Babylon is fallen, so at her fall, what's going to meet her at her coming? The ICBM missiles, the hypersonic missiles, not only from China and Russia and North Korea and whoever else is a adversary of this place, but also the people who once were her allies shall come against her. Even your mother, England, is going to come against you. See, everybody else can see the forest for the trees, but this guy Trump, there's no understanding in him. That's what it said in Obadiah. There's no understanding in him. His thing is, no, I have to save him. And he wants to try to be able to build America back way it used to be. Mega means make America white again. Let's bring it to this great prominence that it had, right? And let's push these so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans back into subjection, right? And if they don't get subjected, they're going to get shipped out, killed, or put in prison of some sort, of some kind. And those that do be in obedience, you're going to get karagma, karax, grapho. You're going to follow, right? You're going to follow the new world plan, right? But see, America has been so Americanized for so long, even the elite knows, right? That's why Abraham Finkelstein said that they're through with America, because America had the illusion of freedom for so long. People really believe in this freedom. It's going to be hard pressed to really get people to convert and get them to that. So if you think about it, a lot of the other people rather just shoot missiles on this place, and the rest of the world will get in line with the Novus Ordo Seclorum. It's kind of where they're at. But Trump thinking he could save it, he can heal it, and we can get it on the same program as the rest of the world. This is what they plan on doing. This is why they're putting the military in the street. And if you have a couple of fights along with the military, with the citizens, then people will willingly give their more of their freedoms up, which they did during the Patriot Act, and forgot some of those other things that they signed in. The people were like, yeah, we're cool with that. We're cool with giving up our freedoms for safety. And that's what what this whole thing with the military on the streets is. So people will give up more of their freedom for safety, right? And it says, yeah, because basically this place is going to, when the missiles come, the wrath of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, of hosts, which means army. So the missiles part of the Lord's army. The people are part of the Lord's army. The animals are part of the Lord's army. Everything that's living, breathing, things that are seen and unseen are part of the Lord's army, whether you know it or not. And in the day of his fierce anger, which is because the Lord is angry with this place, the main place he's angry with is Babylon, which is America. Everybody can see the forest for the trees. The destruction and the judgment is coming to this place. And it shall be as Chase Row. So when the race wars and things that happen, people are going to be fighting each other. And then this place is going to be like Chase Row. It's going to be like a deer, good for hunting, right? Good for the picking, right? And as a sheep that no man taketh up, because there's going to be no one to protect it, right? There's no there's no stopping the destruction of America. They shall every man turn to his own people and flee every one to his own land. See, everybody else can see it, but Trump, he can't see it. Everybody else finna go back to their own people. They go, hey man, ain't no money here to be made. These people are fighting each other. Race wars. Every man's like a chase row. People are hunting each other's down. The purge. People are hunting. It is a real live purge, and people are hunting each other down like deer. Doing this race war, doing the famine, the death, the pestilence, all these things are actually legitimately happening, right? Everyone's going to go to their own people, and everyone that is found, right? So if you're still here in America and you didn't go to your own land, back to your own people, shall be thrust through. You're going to be killed here during the race wars, the famine, the pestilence, the lack of bread. The lack of bread, people are going to be killing each other. They're going to be eating their own children, right? They're going to eat their own selves. They're going to eat their own neighbors for the lack of bread. Everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. And the modern day sword is the gun or whatever they can get to kill you, to destroy you. Those are the things that's going to happen. Their children also shall be dashed to pieces. And what do you do when you dash something into pieces, man? That's good for the crock pot. That's good for the what it say? The solder. You're gonna dash them into pieces, chop them up, cut them up, eat them, kill them. Right? People are gonna have no. It's gonna be really no filter time. The gloves are gonna be off. Before their eyes, their houses shall be spoiled. Right? People are gonna come steal what you have, and their wives ravished. Right? Which means, hey, they're gonna get raped. They're gonna be taken advantage of. Right? Yeah. So then, this is Second Ezra chapter 16, verse 70. For there shall be in every place and in every city a great insurrection, right? See, race wars, right? Race wars, class wars. Hey, food. So it's not gonna be, your food fight. This is not that type of food fight. It's gonna be a food fight, but it's I'm coming to kill you to take your food. I'm coming to take your spoil, your goods, right? Ain't gonna be that wasteful food fight that America had at one point in time when food is super abundant and kids would have food fight at school or things like that. Man, amen. Say a great insurrection upon those that fear Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, right? They shall be like madmen, sparing none. But because what we basically let the cat out the bag, so to speak, right? It said to uncover the leg, make bare the thigh. We showed you what this place is really about. They're going into the draconian laws, the draconian measures, and we told you that they're going to bring this palantir, this hopsir, their gospel, their guns, their direct energy weapons, right? We told you they're going to bring the robots and the Karagma, right? We told you these things, right? So people are going to be mad. They're going to be looking at us, but you're going to see the devil for what he is, right? He's going to show his horns, right? Bringing in those military troops, right? In all these different cities, they shall be like madmen, sparing none, but shall spoil and destroy those that fear Yahweh, man. And that's what they're going to be doing. They're going to be looking for the men of the Lord, but as they're doing that, they're going to be destroying all the other citizens too. Even you so-called white people, because you think you're safe, right? Even you so-called foundational black Americans, you ones who well-to-do, right? Oprah Winfrey and all these other people, you're going to find out, hey, man, they're coming for you too, right? For they shall waste and take away their goods, right? Your food, your stability of any kind, taken away from you, and cause them and cast them, so I can cast them out of their houses. Hey, you're gonna be out of your house, poor. You're gonna get thrown in concentration camps, or you'll be put in some type of apartment building or some type of thing, something where it's easier to surveillance you. Or they might just throw other people into your house. You got a large house. They're gonna be putting here. These people go to this room. This people go to this room, and you're gonna have to share your house with all these people, right? And everybody's gonna be surveillanced. You got to, hey, even what's his name? RFK is that his name? He want everybody to wear a wearable device, like a necklace or some type of thing that tells you where you're at everywhere you go. But that's the beginning stages, right? That's to lay down the foundational work. That's to do what is it called? The Salakia. It's basically predictive programming, right? Gradualism. That's what I want to say. Salakia, Lord. Why do y'all about your mouth shot for that? But yeah, cast you out your houses, and then shall they be known who are my chosen. See, and you're going to see the men of the Lord. The Lord's going to raise up a standard for those men who stood stiffly upon the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, which really was before the foundation of the world, elected to be that. But you're going to see it, right? And they shall be tried as gold in the fire, right? So we're going to go through some of the same adversities, some of these same things that other people went through. But hey, you're going to know that Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is true, right? You're going to know that the Lord is with those men, and with all these things, calamities and this and that, And before the missiles come, race wars are going to have to happen. Yeah, so this is Isaiah chapter 19, verse 4. It says, and Egypt and the Egyptians, right, which are you Americans, right? Right? So this place is also known as Sodom and Egypt when you go into Revelations 11 and 8, right? It's also spiritually known as Egypt, right? Just turn your dollar around. Back of the dollar bill has the pyramid. I know you've heard this before, but hey, it is what it is, right? Right? This is Egypt, and then it has Latin showing you the time when the Greeks ruled over Egypt. And Latin, what? The Novus Ordo Seclorum. Guess what that means? That new world order, right? Whether you know it or not. That's the thing that has to happen, right? And during that, the king of Egypt, right, which is also the king of Babylon, right? Because that Babylon and Egypt spiritually, in the spiritual sense, not literal, because in literal, Egypt is in Africa, northeast Africa, and Babylon is over southeast Asia, somewhat, whatever, however you want to say, like in close to India or somewhere, or Iran, or what? I think it was Iran, huh? Iran, where Babylon was at, somewhere in that area between India and Iran. That area was Babylon, right? So they're two different places, but on a spiritual note, as far as behavior, it's this place, America, Babylon the Great, right? And the Egyptians will I give over into a cruel lord. And that's Donald J. Trump. He's your president. He's your cruel lord. He's your king, the king of Babylon, and a fierce king, right? And that's what he's acting. He's like a dictator. He's acting like a king. He just has this benevolent order that no one's saying anything about what he's doing and how he's doing it. And it's in order to bring in order, right? Right? Problem, reaction, solution, right? Shall rule over them, saith Yahweh, right? The outer one, Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai of hosts, right? And the waters shall fail from the sea. Yeah, see, the waters are going to fail from what? From you people. Sea meaning people. The water's going to fail you people. The way the money used to flow, the way things used to come, the food, the things, the substance, everything that you had, the life as you know it, right? That's why they kept telling you during the CV19, it's the new normal. And they about to show you what they want you to see as normal, right? Yeah, the sea and the rivers shall be waste and dried up. So all when you go to river where you could go fishing, you can do this, you can do that, a lot of things. Water comes from it, you can drink, things, your provision, your things come from these places. It's gonna be all dried up. You should, what do you say? You should have nothing but be happy. That's what Charles Schwab said that. All these high elites, these what's it? World Health Organization, World Economic Forum. Well, if you're the world economic, shouldn't you make sure that the economics is okay for the entire world? And if the economics ain't okay, who holds you accountable? See? And they're showing you that they're going to show you that there's impunity, or there's no how do you say it? They're immune. That's what I want to say. They're immune to anything they don't go to jail, basically, at the end of the day. Right? You can see that through the Epstein's file. They don't go to jail. They don't get in trouble. Right? They're the rulers, you're the prisoners, and that's that, right? And the waters shall fail. Wait, I'm stuck here. And so they shall turn the rivers far away, right? They're giving away the jobs. They're doing all sorts of things. Giving it to the AI. They're giving it the billionaires the tax cuts, right? And the brooks of the fence. See, the things that kept you from not being homeless and starving and being able to be a decent citizen and this and that. That's all going to go away. They shall be empty and dried up. the reeds and the flags shall wither, right? So all your way of making money and provision, right? Paper reeds, right? Your money is paper. They call it paper. You know what I mean? You know, by the brooks, right? Because even when things get low, right? There's always like if water's drying up, a river. There's a major river, and even if it dries up, it could dry up to where it's like a brook, and there's still kind of some flowing water. And though it's small, it's not as big as there's still a way to pull something out of it. Well, they plan on even making it to where even the brooks, there's no water, there's no brooks, there's no creeks, there's no nothing. By the mouth of the brooks shall everything sown by the brooks shall wither. See, they want to make it to where, hey, well, think about how did all of a sudden these the rabbits and the squirrels and the deers get this so-called, trust me, it ain't by accident. They're out there shooting these things up with these things because they know if you go starving, you don't have no food, you don't have no thing, you can go, hey, I can go hunting. But if you go hunting, these things are growing things outside of their body. So you just say F it and eat that, you're gonna die anyway. Right? By driving driving away to be no more. See, they're doing it. The elite, this is the cruel Lord. They're driving everything away that you won't have any provision. You can't hunt the rabbits, the deer. You can't hunt anything because now all of a sudden these things are growing these little horn things out of their head. The zombie deer or whatever they called it before, which now they're growing more maladies or whatever, cancers outside of the deer's hide. So now you can't even hunt the deers. They're gonna make it to where they drive everything away. You have their fishers also. See, you ain't gonna be able to down you. They showed you that even in the Simpsons, right? The fish had 3 eyes, and man, you know, they're gonna put some type of radiation or something in the waters. These are things that they're doing to make sure you have to come to them, right? And you're gonna have to eat their laboratory made meat in order to survive, right? So the fishers also shall mourn, and all they that catch angle into the brooks, right? Yeah, you go out there to fish. Like I said, it's your way provision. You can make your food, you make money, right? What's that thing called? That show, Dangerous Catch, man. Those dudes make money. They make big money. They make big bread, man. So you can make some good food, money, everything. You're good. I can pay my bills. I can eat. I'm good. I don't need a bunch of fancy things. And people are gonna realize that real soon. You know, that living to keep up with the Joneses, so to speak, is gonna be out the window. People are gonna want just the necessary things. It says Brooks shall lament, right? It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad, bro. They that spread net upon the waters shall languish. See, hey man, they have you gonna have to go to them for the want of all things, right? They even tell you, what you call him did that. The Goody Mob. He said, no more fishing for your fish. He said, you want to need a chip for your dish, something like that. Roughly paraphrasing, right? So that's the time you're living in. Now, that song makes more sense. Who's that peeping in my window? Well, when you got surveillance, government surveillance, who's that looking in your window? The government surveillance. They don't got to look through your window. You're gonna watch your smart TV that's gonna have a camera. It's gonna watch you. You have your so-called alarm system that they convinced you to put in your house. That you have cameras throughout your entire house. What was that about? Right? They got CCTV. I had a dude come to my house, ask me if I wanted to buy a CCTV camera for protection, and I was like, dang, that kind of sound nice. But then I was thinking, who I do that, but who else are they CC detecting or seeing and watching? Me. So I was like, nah, I'm good, bro. No, we're good with that. Moreover, they that work in fine flax, Slakia, and they that wave networks. Oh shit, right? Yeah, because most people, if you think about it, a lot of people are into this being internet influencers and making money that way. Well, they about to cut that off, and they're slowly, surely trying to do that because now they wanted to make it to be where, which is weird, because they're trying to say something about they want the ages of so-called all the way down to 16 or 14, something like that. I forgot. So you can recognize if you're an adult or not. But at the same spin, they're telling you that they want to make the children adults so they can arrest them. But then they can't watch YouTube. Come on. Hey, you people need to start thinking, right? So people who's going to try to get these little different work networks and things and try to figure out a way to still, I don't know, make money, have a job, work. They're going to put that shall be confused, right? Yeah. But basically, you know, the network is just basically meaning those who are fishermen. But I'm just using that as far as an internet term because that's what people, you know, use network at as far as internet term, right? But so with all that, I want to give all praises and all honor and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha HaKodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and do well. To the elder apostles, bishops in Connecticut, the bishops, the preachers, the teachers, the evangelists, and the four winds, preaching in truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect, Shalom. To the Israelite foreigners who phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through your father and have come back to the fold. Shalom. To your sisters, your Akhwathiim, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence, and Abba Ball and Kwam Yasharala.